Hello boys, girls, and people from other worlds, my name is Star-Punz. You're probably looking at how to make your first D&D campaign from the side of it. Don't worry, so was I. As of recently, we had some very speculative news about a certain someone trying to buy off a certain company that owns the entirety of D&D in itself. I'm here to make this video to get you out of that loophole, to play D&D without needing any of the essentials. Any books, any dice, anything. You genuinely, if you have a phone or even a bit of a PC, will be fine. Or a tablet. Any device. You can use a 3DS. It's really easy to mod too, honestly. And when I first started out, I spent countless hours looking for multiple videos on times 1.5 speed to catch up on the time I'm losing. So I can make something, anything, alright? We have to consider that this video is in the conditions if you're, number 1, late on time. 2, promise this for a few weeks. 3, the Dungeon Master. And 4, don't feel like watching videos from before Ash won his first championship in the Pokemon anime. Why they say when it's important, I have no idea. But you better hold on to it, youngling, as we go to our communicative lucid imagination. TikTok, Instagram, Christian forum, Tumblr. Tools. So there's this app named D&D 5e Companion, and that's really it. That's where you can analyze all of your graphs, all of your stuff. That's where you can put everything you need right there. All of your spells are listed there. You just need a little bit of D&D comprehension, okay? A little basic D&D spell knowledge, learn tactics, and you're solid. Maybe watch a bit of Discord with it alongside it, and do a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3. Actually, just watch like a few minutes of gameplay, or watch like anyone explain like the rules of it, and you can imply that into your own game. It's really easy, just so everyone is on the same page, okay? Characters. Okay, you don't have to be the best at voices or making unique characters. Frankly, it's more embarrassing than anything else to try to converse as a 2-year-old who has a quest for revenge. It works better over Discord, but in person you're looking at a grown-ass man roleplay. My respect to the people who made the entire sheets for NPCs, but my method on the time crunch, stick to one singular gimmick. I am so serious. This thing will be crucial in making whether or not your party will enjoy your NPC, and it could range from a nerdy archetype to a question of, what if someone was so intrinsically compelled by everything being symmetrical? Yes, I'm using Soul Eater, but you begin to question yourself, how would he enjoy his coffee? How would he fight? How reliable is he as a person? From a singular gimmick, you allow yourself to be free, and remember that your NPCs are critical into orchestrating the plot's progression. Allow them to fill in those previously said gaps introduced. Oh, I haven't covered that? Well, let's find out how you can subtly influence your own party to put them in the right direction. Plot. Plot is arguably, and I mean this wholeheartedly, the most bullshit part about D&D. You can read entire books on this shit, but won't be prepared as to how a side mission of getting Catwoman feet pits contributes to the story. If you're coming into a D&D campaign with the thought that of the story going as smoothly as any linear piece of literature, that's fair. Prepare to change the term linear into mind-numbing, because you're going to be the only one thinking about how this plot convinces you in that case. What I do is a method that allows you to make a compelling journey alongside a fun voyage into Barney's land of imagination. Make gaps. Gaps in your own story, and let your party fill it out themselves. And those gaps places in very obscure pieces of a total puzzle. I'm not asking for Odo levels of foreshadowing, to this day we're speaking of Skypiea, but I'm merely presenting a way in which a dungeon master can have fun making their own interpretation and a party can contribute. Remember, this is for everybody. What you interpret is different to the party's interpretation, and what you should have in mind, however, is that the context behind everything. There has to be a reason to everything. Even if the thread is tied in loose, a knot is still a knot. This in turn relates to the consequences of your party's actions, which will be in their own hands. The way everything falls into place, this is why we need gaps. Your end goal is here, whilst your beginning is here. The set pieces you integrate are for them to elaborate on, and huzzah, you've gaslit your party into leading them into a newfound path that was already predetermined. You've played God. Items. To proclaim the idea that such a small piece of someone's inventory won't do any changes to the field of the story is absolutely just you being a dumbass. If you do a weapon that gives any leverage to a player, they will find a loophole, and exploitation a meaning behind them. You will never predict what another human being will do, as the more you invest yourselves into these sessions with actual consistency, they will try to break the game, which is where I found a solution. Let them. Your perfectly crafted plot that has been set up in a month in advance from beginning to end has become a Mario 64 speedrun, because you gave everyone a fucking BLJ. Believe me, it's not fun, which is why you have to place restrictions, like of course someone is going to abuse that power, so say you can only use it for 2 turns and need rest for 3. Place precautions so the entire team doesn't break anything, and in turn they can strategically use it to their advantage. But regardless of if they do, if you follow the plot steps from the beginning, then even if, let's say, your party blows up the place that they're in, their only way out is by simply leaving the area. Always have an objective that no matter whatever they do, even how powerful they are, they have to do it in order to progress. Don't be a Debbie Downer by implying that these people are not allowed to designate themselves in their own actions. Let them learn their actions do have consequences, that every positive and negative have an outcome determined by their own hubris. Sure, it might be a fine way of teaching yourself how to make bullshit on the spot, but you have a lot more fun letting players uncover things early or late based on their own intelligence. Stats/maps. This part, God, I hate math. Okay, it depends on you personally want to do or the level of players in your campaign. Me personally, if this is the first time ever doing it, you should do homework, which in layman's terms means you can do whatever the fuck you want. Following tropes like these, and these, you will be fine. I promise you, you don't need to. Pretending you're in an environment is fine. If you played Baldur's Gate 3 for literally just beginning with the spaceship, you already know how to roll, people are given actions and bonus actions, and that their environment is critical to any leverage to the player. You don't even need to have a map layout for the entire place of your own world. Give your players creative freedom to explore and you'll be able to entice them. If you don't have that style of working, that's fine. Watch a bit of anime and rehash arts into your own series. Sessions are all but original, okay? Let's rip off the band-aid. Any piece of fiction in itself is not original. It's all originating from other pieces of media. What you need to learn, however, is that these story beats in these pieces of media that are such influential parts of our culture always have something leading up to these moments that are critical to what people see. Like Spider-Man holding the train, Captain America versus the Nazis, Iron Man snapping. They all had events leading up to them. Your setup as to how you're even doing this is critical, but also probably the easiest part depending on whether or not you're employed in 2024. You can host a Discord server call with a music bot, go in your basement, or do it over a game you guys are playing like mental chess between Reed and Victor. Really, the harder part is getting everyone into the same room. Easily the hardest part in this entire video, but from what I've said, I think that about covers it. You really need to know what you're playing with, so having some randoms is fine, but custom the story to a genre everyone will enjoy or have knowledge in, regardless if they heard the letters D and D in the same acronym, such as space, Star Wars, kaijus, superheroes. What you can do is based on what you want to do. If you enjoyed this video and think it helped down everything you need to know or want further knowledge, trust me, if it's your first time, your friend should be more than understanding. Doing it is so hard to the DM, not for the planning or anything, just in fear of the execution that anyone will enjoy it. It's allowing everyone to see your passion, that in itself can kill you, but it just as easily can sustain you enough to keep going. Never stop letting your confidence hold back your tails. Like and subscribe.
You